talk about the dangers of weak thinking. People become emotionally programmable. They're easy to manipulate, easy to divide, and easy to control. Because if someone can control your emotion, they can control your reactions. And if they can control your reactions, they can control your behavior.
Welcome to Think for Yourself Friday with Damon K. Jones. This is where we challenge the narrative, question everything, and focus on results over emotion.
Everybody, welcome to Think for Yourself Friday, and I'm Damon K. Jones. And this is where we challenge narratives, question assumptions, and focus on truth through logic, outcomes, discipline, accountability, and faith. Today's topic: why modern culture rewards weak thinking. I'm going to say it again. Why modern culture rewards weak thinking. We are living in a culture where reaction is rewarded more than reflection. Outrage gets attention, victimhood gets sympathy, and emotional reactions gets applause. But discipline, accountability, critical thinking, those things are becoming rare in today's society. And that's dangerous for society and our communities. Because when weak thinking becomes normalized, brothers and sisters, strong thinking becomes offensive. So let me define what weak thinking is. Weak thinking is reacting before analyzing. It's believing something because it sounds good emotionally instead of examining whether it's true. It's refusing accountability while blaming everyone else for your condition. It's allowing feelings to override facts. And modern culture rewards this type of thinking constantly. Look at social media. The loudest outrage often gets the most attention. Not the wisest voice, not the most disciplined voice, not even the most thoughtful voice, the most emotional voice. People are rewarded for reacting instantly. Nobody pauses anymore. Nobody researches anymore. Nobody asks, is this true? What are the facts? What are the long-term outcomes? And I have to admit, I've been that person that just reacts. And reaction without analysis is manipulation. Just manipulation waiting to happen. Now let's talk about victimhood. There are real injustices in the world, and there are real injustices to Black people. There are real struggles, there are real barriers, but modern culture has turned victimhood into identity. Like being a victim is being Black. And there's a difference. See, when people identify only through the pain, they stop focusing on solutions. Everything becomes someone else's fault. It's because of Trump that we're going through this. It's because of the white man that we're going through this. It's because of racism that our community looks the way it does. Nothing becomes our responsibility, and a society or community without accountability, brothers and sisters, it can't grow. We can't continue to blame the white man with all our Mercedes Benzes and Gucci and Louis bags and red bottom shoes and Prada. How are we blaming the white man? See, that's a lack of accountability. And when we have self-accountability of our condition, that's where the power begins. Now let's bring it home to the Black community. We have to be careful not to let emotional narratives replace strategic thinking. Yes, we have historical struggles. Yes, systematic issues exist. But we cannot build a future through outrage alone. The Black community must have discipline. We must be ownership minded. We must have critical thinking. We must have emotional intelligence. We must have an economic strategy of our own. And we must have family structure. See, because anger by itself does not build institutions. Emotion by itself does not create stability in the Black community. And if we are not careful, culture will train us to react emotionally while never teaching us how to build power. We have to stop talking victimhood and start talking like people who have power. Weak thinking says, someone should save me. I'm a victim. Strong thinking says, what can I build to protect my family and my community? Weak thinking waits for validation from other people and other cultures and a political party. Strong thinking develops discipline to do for yourself when the outcomes are against you. Weak thinking reacts emotionally. Oh my God, they're taking away our voting rights. Oh my God, they're attacking Black people. Oh my God, I can't do nothing about it. And strong thinking analyzes outcome. How do we pool our $2.6 trillion together? How do we start making a political action committee and donate $5 to $10 a month and run our own candidates instead of voting for these candidates that are being funded by everybody else, like AIPAC and all these other people, putting candidates that's actually going to work for Black people. And modern culture often attacks disciplined people because disciplined people exposes excuses. The Bible says this in Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed to the renewing of your mind. Notice that. God warns us not to conform to culture. Why? Because culture changes constantly. It changes every week. But truth never changes. And Proverbs 4:12 tells us, there is a way which seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. See, everything that feels right emotionally is not right. That's why discernment matters, brothers and sisters. I'm going to talk about the dangers of weak thinking. People become emotionally programmable. They're easy to manipulate, easy to divide, and easy to control. Because if someone can control your emotions, they can control your reactions. And if they can control your reactions, they can control your behavior. That's why emotional discipline is power. So what does strong thinking actually look like? It means you pause before reacting. You research before repeating. You value outcomes over applause. You stop blaming culture for everything and start asking, what can I improve? What can I build? What principles actually work? Because thinking for yourself, brothers and sisters, requires courage. It's easy to follow the crowd. That doesn't take any work. It's harder to stand alone on truth. But here's the good news. Strong thinking can be developed. Discipline can be learned. Wisdom can grow. And 2 Corinthians 3:17 says, now the Lord is that Spirit, and where that Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Check out what he said, that God giveth all men liberty. See, that's why Negroes ain't free. That's why we still slaves. That's why we haven't built what we were supposed to build for our community, for our families. Because we haven't asked God for it. We haven't looked to God for it. We look to politicians for it. We look to fake activist leaders for it. We haven't looked to God. The scriptures tells you what to do. Ask God, and he will giveth all men liberty. And that's including women. That's why our communities look terrible. That's why we have no economic development, because we're not following God's economy. We're looking to the white man for a job, black jobs. That's what you out here fighting for, DEI and affirmative action. Whether you like it or not, God's trying to give you liberty right now. God is trying to cut you away from the donkey. Didn't Jesus ride the donkey? Y'all getting stomped on by the donkey. Wisdom is available. Clarity is available. Discipline is available. But you have to seek it. I might have to make a t-shirt out of that verse and sell it, because it's right there. See, a lot of us talk about, well, Lord, I go by the Bible. I go by the Bible. No, you need to start going in it. Stop walking by it in the morning and walking by it at lunchtime and walking by it in the evening and walking by it before you go to bed. Start going in it. Your liberty ain't in a party. Your liberty ain't in no gerrymandered district. Your liberty is in God. Now I'm going to close. Brothers and sisters, weak thinking reacts. Strong thinking reflects. Weak thinking blames. Strong thinking builds. Weak thinking follows culture. Strong thinking examines the culture. And in a world that rewards emotional weakness, thinking for yourself becomes an act of strength. And if you like this video, please like and share. And please go to blackwestchester.com. It's the news with the Black point of view. We just recently got our e-magazine out, but if you're in the Westchester, Bronx, Southern Connecticut area, there are places you could get the paper. But if you're not in those areas, just go online and get the e-paper. And remember, brothers and sisters, just because culture rewards something doesn't mean that it's healthy. Think for yourself. Examine the outcomes. And never let a weak culture weaken your mind. This is Think for Yourself Fridays, and I'm Damon K. Jones. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay blacktastic. Peace out.
Black Westchester's New Spring 2026 e-paper is now available, featuring the life and legacy of Bob Law, breaking news, and stories that matter to our community. Read it now at blackwestchester.com. If you're serious about political clarity and independent thinking, this is for you. The Political Thought Bundle includes 3 full books, all personally singling. Democrats and Republicans, the ultimate gangbangers, breaks down how the two-party system operates like a legalized street war for power. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure exposes how emotion has replaced strategy in Black political engagement. Tolerance is for Cowards lays out a blueprint for extended policing and community-led public safety rooted in outcomes rather than slogans. 3 signed books. 1 bundle, $60. That's a $75 value, and you're getting signed copies included. This isn't left versus right. It's results versus rhetoric. Go to twosteppublishing.com and secure your signed Political Thought Bundle today. It's going to be blacktastic. For more than a century, Black America built its own economy under segregation, under discrimination, and under conditions most people today cannot imagine. We built businesses. We built banks. We bought land and property. In The Forgotten Blueprint, Damon K. Jones reveals how Black communities created thriving economic systems from 1800 to 1965 and why that blueprint still matters today. This book challenges the idea that our future depends on politics alone and shows how ownership, family, and enterprise once powered Black prosperity. The blueprint is not lost. We just stopped using it. The Forgotten Blueprint, how Black America built its own economy from 1800 to 1965. On sale now at Two Step Publishing and Amazon. Westchester magazine has been giving our community a voice, reporting the stories others ignore, holding power accountable, and making sure the truth about our communities is told by us. But independent Black media only survives when the community supports it. If you believe in real journalism, community accountability, and keeping Black voices strong in local news, we need your help. Your donation helps us continue covering the stories that matter: politics, education, justice, and economic empowerment right here in Westchester. Support Black media, support Black truth, support Black Westchester magazine. Donate today and help keep Black media alive. Because Black-owned independent media is Blacktastic. Black Westchester magazine presents People Before Politics, the Sunday Rundown, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Join Damon K. Jones, A.J. Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as they break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and community from a Black point of view. No spin, no party loyalty, just logic, accountability, and outcomes. If it impacts Black America, we're talking about it. Tap in, subscribe, set your reminder. This Sunday at 6 p.m. is going to be Blacktastic. This is Think For Yourself Friday with Damon K. Jones. If you got value from this, like, share, and subscribe. And remember, if you don't think for yourself, someone else will.